Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Jorge Rangel. I'm going to structure these videos a little bit different from one because I want this series to have a little bit more people. That's the idea. So I'm going to keep showing you how apphivehq works, of course, but I want to always introduce myself at the beginning so you have an idea what these lives are about. So for example, now you know my name if you didn't watch any of my other videos. And now I'm going to present my screen and the screen of my iPad so you can see what I am working on. In the last one, we were showing you how the maps in apphivehq work and how to use the API from Google to try to recreate a map configuration using the information that Google gives us. The only problem that we have with that is that Google returns us the information of the location of the route, properly the route of the in the API is returned to us in a format that apphivehq does not know how to translate directly, right? That was the last thing we were trying to do, and the problem with that is that we need to translate that string to something that is useful to us in apphivehq. So we need to implement that, and we are trying to. But for now, is not implemented. So I'm going to show you something different. For example, I'm going to show you how the system of the maps in apphivehq draws things in the map. Okay. So in order to do that, I'm going to show you my screen. Give me a moment. I'm going to prepare that so I can show you what we are trying to build. Okay, there you go. Okay, my second screen is now there, and I'm going to put my first screen here. Okay, where is my example? I have an example. There you go. Let's present the screen. Okay, give me a moment. There you go. Okay, and now you can see my screen. There you go. Now I'm going to open here on examples and the base here. In other tutorials, we already add maps like so, dragging and dropping this one. And in this one, I'm going to show you how to draw things in the map. The only thing that we have drawn until now are markers, but markers are only one part of what maps can do, right? So I'm going to show you the screen of my iPad. Give me a moment. Where is it? Where is it? Quick start. There you go. And here, let's put here file, new movie recording. Okay, and here, screen iPad. There you go. And now let's put here the examples and base. And here I have exactly the same application that I have here in my editor. The difference is that here it is running, and here is only the preview when I can edit everything about it, right? So the first thing that I want to refresh on is the markers. Markers is an object inside the map, and each property of that object is a marker, and the property name is the ID of that marker. Okay, the information inside each one of the properties of the properties in that object is the definition of a marker. A marker can have a location. The location is represented by the properties latitude and longitude. Yeah, it can have a custom icon. If no custom icon is provided, the icon that is shown is the icon on the default icon on any map. So let's show that again so everyone is up to date in that. So I think my iPad is connected, so now let's connect it again. Okay, let's check it out. There you go. And here let's add a button that says set start marker. Okay, now this marker set marker, sorry. This is going to execute code when I press the button. So let's go to the functions section and on press. And here in the on press button, I can press in the iPad and you can see the button responds. It doesn't do anything right now, but it responds. So now let's add a modify control. The modify control function is used to modify the properties in the map. So in this case, we are going to modify the markers property. So let's select the map here on the list. There you go. That's the map. And after we select the map, we have to select the property that we want to modify. In this case, as I said, is the markers. Okay, but we are not going to modify all the markers. We are going to modify only one. Which one? I don't know. We can put here an ID of a marker, and it's going to be a static marker. For example, marker 1, like that. And this is going to be the ID of the marker inside the property markers, which is the property that the map uses to render the markers, right? And we need to send the data that we have to define the marker with. For example, in this case, we have to extract a longitude and a latitude from the map, okay? And the map already gives us the location on which the map is currently pointed. For example, if I move the map, the location changes internally on the map, and I can access that location and put that on a marker. So the property is called region. The region is the location in which the map is currently in. So in order to extract it, we can read it right here in the entry bar. So we can select again the map, but instead of selecting the complete map, we can select the property here, similar to what we do with the marker. So for example, I can select the complete region on the map. Okay, so let's try this out. Oh, when I did that, you can see that Apphive removes these properties right here. So let's select them again, right? Let's put here markers, and let's put here M1. There you go. Let's try it out. I'm going to move first the map and then set the marker. You can see a marker is drawn in the map, and if I click in another location, the same marker moves. What does that? Why does this map do that? The reason is because it is the same marker. Remember, as I told you, the marker's property holds the IDs of each marker, and the only marker that we are modifying is the marker with the ID M1. If we want to create one unique marker each time we press the button, we have to change the ID that we put in the modify control for something that is dynamic, that changes each time I press the button. In this case, we are going to use, for example, a timestamp. I don't remember if a timestamp works, but let's try it out. Instead of putting here M1, let's select again the markers property and select here timestamp. There you go. Now, each time we press the button, a timestamp is going to be added as a property in the markers property in the map, and each one is going to be a unique marker. Let's try it out. For example, if I press here, set marker, there you go, there is one. And if I move the map, remember, we are reading the property region on each map, on each click of the button. So the region changes when I move the map, right? So let's click on that. There you go. Now we have two different maps. The reason is each one of those has a different ID. The ID in this case is a timestamp. Remember, the timestamp is a number that represents the number of milliseconds that passes from 1997. I remember, if I remember correctly. I don't know exactly, but we want to show you a little bit more. And in order to do that, let's add a text field right here. And this text field is going to show us the properties inside the map. How I'm going to do that? When I press the button after I modify the control, let's add another function, and this function is going to be another modify control. But this modify control is going to load all the information in the markers that are on the map and show them in the text field that we have in the part above the page. So what we are going to send the property on the map, and the property is called markers. There you go. And the element that I want to modify is the text field, the text area, that we add here. Let's remove the text field because that shouldn't be there. And after that, let's add here the property that we want to modify. In this case, is the property text. The property text in a text control is the one that shows us in the page the information, right? So let's try this out. There you go. Let's move the map and click here, and you can see in the above section in the section above the map. Sorry, I didn't know how to say that. you can see the object that is representing the markers. In this case, we only have one marker with one timestamp as the ID and the latitude and longitude. Okay, we can create a new one, pressing the button right there, and you can see now we have the two markers right there, right? But that is not the only thing that we can do with maps in Apphive. We can draw lines between points. Okay, let's try to do that. How I'm going to do that? Give me a moment. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can see the properties that we have to use in order to render lines in the map. Okay. Give me a moment because I don't remember how it's done. Oh, here you go. Okay. Markers, areas, polygons. The name of these properties are polygons because we are going to draw something on the map, like if it was a canvas. So let's try and do that. The property is called polygons, okay? And polygons should be an object as well as the markers is. And each polygon has an ID, okay? The ID is the property on the object, exactly the same as the marker. The difference is that a polygon, okay, get polygon coordinates. Let me see. It should have a property called coordinates, which are the coordinates of each point in the polygon. So, for example, you can see here coordinates. Okay, is an object naturally, and each one has a latitude and a longitude. Okay, and give me a moment. I'm going to check out this one, and it has a stroke color and a fill color. Okay, I'm going to put this one in another page, another screen, sorry, so I can keep referring to it. Okay, let's share my screen again. Give me a moment. There you go. And now I'm going to try to draw a polygon in this map right here. In order to do that, the first thing I want to do is remove all the examples that I put here as a refresher on how markers work. And the first thing I want to do is add, again, a modify control, but this modify control is going to be adding points to a polygon inside the map. So how do I do that? The first thing I want to do is, again, read the region that is currently on the map. In order to do that, let's select here the map and then the region. There you go. And the element that I want to modify, of course, is again the map. And the property that I want to modify is the property that is called polygons. The first thing that is going to be put here is the ID of this polygon. So let's put polygon 1. The second part, which is separated by a dot, like in other programming languages, is the name of the property inside this polygon. The property is always coordinates. Why? Because we have to add coordinates to this polygon, right? So give me a moment. I'm going to confirm that the property is called coordinates. There you go. And inside of these coordinates, we need to set a new ID, which is going to represent a point inside this polygon. But I want a different polygon, a different point, sorry, inside the same polygon each time I press the button. In order to do that, I have to generate a dynamic ID here, exactly the same way that I did with the markers. The difference here is that I need to add this part to that dynamic ID at the beginning, so it takes all the path to the properties on this polygon in particular. How do I do that? Okay, let's add a new function. The function is called string interpolation, and the function string interpolations help us create different strings based on other values. In this case, the only value that I want to add dynamically is the ID of the point inside the polygon. So let's add this string interpolation as a first function. I'm going to put exactly the same that I did here. First, the ID of the polygon, in this case P1. The second property is coordinates. That's static. It's always the same for all polygons. And then a dot again. And here, let's put the symbol of money and open and close brackets. And inside of here, let's put the name of this value. In this case, it's going to be point ID. Okay, you can see that immediately an entry bar is created below, and this entry bar is going to accept the value that I want as the point ID. In the example that we did just minutes ago, we use timestamps, which are going to be unique in the sense that each time I press the button is a different time, but I'm going to be using UUIDs, UUIDs. I don't know how to pronounce this one, but it's a random string that is guaranteed to almost always be unique. And we can use this one instead of the number, right? So now that we have this function returns the path to the unique point that we want to set. Let's change the name of this function to reflect that, right? Point path in map. There you go. Now that we have this one, we can access it right from here. Let's remove this and let's click again in polygons. There you go. And let's add the path from the other function, point path in map. There you go. Now, hopefully, we can set different points depending on each one of the clicks that we do on the button. Let's try it out. Okay, let's move this one. Let's set that one. Nothing is shown because I only add 1 point. Let's move this and click again. Nothing is shown. I don't know why. Let's move again and click again, and there you go. Now, there are some facts that we need to take into account here. The first one is a polygon only works if it has 3 or more points. If it has 2 or less, it doesn't work. We already showed you. Let's refresh the page and do it again. Let's add first 1 point. Nothing happens. Let's move this one and add another point. Nothing happens. Let's move this one and add another point. And there you go. We have 3 points in the map. So a polygon needs 3 or more points in order to work. If we add another one, you can see the polygon is going to be built as we are adding the points. So we can use these regions to draw something on the screen, right? We need to draw, for example, if we have points that we have to draw as an hexagons. Let's try to do that. How do I how do I create hexagons from these points? For example, let's do that. Let's try to illustrate what I am trying to say. For example, here when I press the set markers, let's add first a new function, a code compute function. And here, this code compute function is going to return me a point. Okay, I already have the latitude and the longitude from the map, so I can pass that to the code compute. Let's add it. Let's do that. Let's select the map and the properties region. And here in the code compute, let's return arcs. The name arcs corresponds to the value in the entry bar. That is why it is called arcs. Okay. After that, let's print the value that is returned from the function with a debug log right here. And let's return the code compute and let's try it out. Click there. Let's go here. Let's go here. And here in my logs, you can see there is one from iOS. And let's print it. And here we have the latitude, the longitude in the code compute. Now I want to create an hexagon from there, from that position. Yeah, I want to create an hexagon, but I want that point that I selected as the center of the hexagon. How do I do that? Remember, we are dealing with coordinates. We can't just simply subtract and add to the values on the latitude and longitude in order for us to create a new point. So let's try that out first. So, for example, if I want to draw an hexagon, let's do the operation. Draw online. Sketchpad, I think is the correct one. No. Okay, there you go. No, I don't like that one. Auto draw. Start drawing. Okay. For example, we have a point here in the middle that has a latitude and longitude, and I want to draw something like this. Okay, and this one is in the center. Ignore my super skills drawing things in Paint. But here, I want each one of these points right here. I need to compute those points, right? Why? Because I need to put those points inside a polygon, and show them in my map, right? So first we need to know how to draw these points. Yeah? Again, I just can't simply take the latitude and the longitude and subtract a value from them, right? So let's Google something. Given, let's use BART. Okay, there you go. Given latitude and longitude, how to compute a coordinate that is n kilometers to the north. Let's see what happens there, because I want to move the cursor using code, right, to generate the polygon. So let's try it out. Okay, Bart is not responding. I don't know why. Maybe it doesn't know the answer, right? Google Maps, the latitude and longitude that is 10 kilometers of the... No. I don't want this one. I want a function that creates that, right? In JS. Okay. Convert the latitude and longitude to radians. We can do that, right? So let's copy these ones and let's go here to apphivehq. The super advantage of code compute is that I can Google stuff, right? Like that. So instead of returning the arcs, let's return the latitude and the longitude in radians. So we can check everything works until now. So let's do that. There you go. Let's move this and click on here and return here and check the result. Because we should have here a result that says latitude in radians, right? Let's refresh. And again, click and click. And here, let's check it out. Okay, why is it not working? I think it's not listening to the inputs, right? Let's refresh the page so we can see if everything is working correctly. No, it's not working. I don't know why. Latitude, longitude. Oh, I don't know. I know why now. It's because I have to put here arcs dot. Remember, we are accessing the variable arcs inside the function, so we have to do something like that. So let's try it out again. There you go. Now it is working, and here we have the latitude and the longitude in radians, right? Now calculate the distance in kilometers to the north. Distance north, this cosine latitude radians. Okay, let's try it out. Okay, this is the distance to the north. And after we have the distance to the north, n is the magic number here, right? Because that's the kilometers that we have. Calculate, I assume it's kilometers, I don't know. Calculate the new latitude in radians. New latitude in radians, okay? The latitude is going to be the original latitude plus the distance in the north, okay, divided by this number. I don't know why, but that's the result that is giving me. Convert the new latitude and longitude back to degrees. That makes sense. It creates the radians version of the latitude and longitude, and after that, it returns me the values in the normal coordinates, right? So let's put it right here. New latitude and new longitude, like so. And after that, what? Return the new coordinate. Okay, let's try it out. Here, let's put here, click. And you can see here that it gives me latitude in radians. No, that's not the correct one. Oh, something is not working, right? Because it's not giving me the answer. Distance north. Okay, new latitude in radians. Okay, let's remove these ones. And let's just put the distance north to check if this one actually works. We need to seriously improve the debug log function, because it's not actually working as I expected, because I want this to be easy to do. but I can see here that is not actually that easy because it's not giving me the exact. Oh, I don't know. I know exactly what is happening, and is not defined. So now I have to add it here, right? N, which is going to be distance in kilometers, is going to be 10 kilometers. Let's see what happens there. There you go. Let's try it out again. Click. Okay, it is working now. Let's add the next steps, which are new radians in location. Okay, this one is the next line, right? New latitude in radians. Okay, let's add it below. There you go, and let's return the new latitude in radians. Okay, there you go. Okay, it is working. And after that, let's convert it to normal coordinates, like so, and return these coordinates instead of the radian ones. Okay, let's try it out. Click on this. There you go. We have a new latitude and a new longitude. Now I need to check if actually this works, if this creates a new location that is to the north of the location that I click on. So in order to do that, let's put this, instead of putting here new latitude and new longitude, let's change the name of the return value to latitude and longitude, like so. And after that, I'm going to use this one as a marker in my map, right? So let's collapse this one. Let's remove the ones that we put below, and let's add here another modify control that is going to modify the map. There you go. Let's send the value that is returned by the code compute. Let's put it on the map. The property that we are going to modify is the markers property. So I can see the marker in the interface and return to the M1 ID. So let's click on it. Oh, it is working. You can see there that we can move the marker that we are putting to the north 10 kilometers. That's the first step. But the second one is going to move it to the west, I think, to this part. Because for now, we are moving there to the north, but we want to move here. And I don't know if that is the west. I am guessing so. So let's try to do that. Okay. And how to move the location to the north and the west. Let's see. Compute the new latitude for moving north and as described above. Okay, this is to move to the north. Convert the new back to degrees, return the new coordinate. Here's a complete function. To use this function, okay, but how do I do that? The new will contain the new coordinate, which is 5 kilometers to the west. Oh, there you go. Longitude, distant north, distant west. Oh, this function is very nice to implement it because it has move location northwest. Okay, let's try it out. Let's first declare the function. I do not understand exactly how it works, so I'm going to be copying it line by line. So for example, let's remove everything here. Let's put here move location northwest. There you go. I'm going to be using the editor in staging the apphive. Let me hide my screen a moment, because in that I have a new code editor that is going to come soon to you, so you can use it to edit a little bit more comfortably the code that you are doing in apphive. So give me a moment. There you can see my screen again, and here let's put here an example. And in this example, let's remove everything. Okay, delete this one, delete this, and let's add the map again. There you go. It's going to be asking me for a key. Give me a moment. I'm going to put the key. Because it's needed to show the maps, right? There you go. I'm going to show my screen again. There you go. Now we have the map right here, right? Now, the thing that I wanted to do is to add here a button, sorry, and the button is going to have an unload. Oh, I put it on the page, sorry. It has to be here, right? Let's put the button here and let's add the code compute. And the difference with production is that we have this, which is an option to put this as a full screen, so I can edit my code a little bit better. So let's add the function that we created with BART, which is this one. There you go. And actually it gives me even the count of characters because we have a maximum number of characters in an application like this. So let's add the latitude, the longitude. These ones are only params, and the distance north and the distance west. Okay. Now we can add the first part, which is convert the latitude and longitude to radians. So let's add that one and read it. Okay. Here we have latitude in radians and longitude in radians. Convert the, okay. That's the first step. Let's add the second step, which is calculate the distance in kilometers to the north and west. Distance north, distance west. Oh, okay. It's trying to convert the distances because it didn't give the information here in kilometers. So I'm going to change this part of the code. So let's add distance north in kilometers, like so. So it's directly the same value. It's actually the same code. The only difference is that here is making explicit that the value is in kilometers right here, right? Then it's calculating the new latitude and longitude in radians. Okay, let's add that part. Let's copy and paste. There you go. And after we add that ones, let's add this, which are the new latitude and new longitude. There you go. And after that, let's return this as the new coordinate, right? Now we have a function that we can use to move a coordinate in the map based on the distance to the north and to the west. I think that's enough for us to construct the polygons with the shape we want. Let's try it out. First, we need to access the arcs value. Let's close this one. Remember, we are going to put arcs here. So in order to do that, let's go here and return move location to the west. There you go. First, the latitude, arcs.latitude. Second, arcs.longitude. Third, the distance in kilometers to the north, 2, and the distance in kilometers to the west, 2. Let's try that out. Let's close this one. Let's add here in the arcs, first the map value, map.region. And after that, let's add here a debug log, like so. And let's put here the code compute, and let's launch this application, right? Let's see what happens. Okay, it's not working. I don't know why. So I'm going to copy my code to the editor in production. Sorry about that, because I didn't want to edit the code in the old version of the editor. We have to try it out like here, right? Okay, there you go. There is the code. Here is my debug log, and here is my modify, and it creates a marker. Okay, let's try it out. Oh, I think it's working. How do I know it's working? Because if I change the values, for example, 5 kilometers to the north and 5 kilometers to the west, there you go. Okay, the west is actually the left. You are not watching that. Sorry. Let me show you my screen again. There you go. Here I have the code. I copy pasted here, and here you can see that the marker is actually to the left and to the top from the point that I put here, right? The reason is that it has the properties on the markers that are to the west and to the north. The west is on the left. So now we can use that. Let's try with a negative value and see what happens. There you go. Now we have everything we need to draw an hexagon there. First, let's try with a square. right? Why on a square? Because on square is a little bit easier. We only need 4 points. If we have the origin here, we only need 4 points. And the distance between these points is actually the same. The only thing that changes is the signs. So let's try and do that. So here we have I'm going to do that in my full screen editor, right? Here we have the move location to the west, but we are going to generate 4 points that we are going to fit to a polygon, right? So let's try that. Points, it's going to be equal to an object. Remember that's an object, and the object is going to contain the first point, point 1, which is going to have a latitude and longitude, and the longitude and the latitude and longitude is going to be computed something like this, right? Exactly the same. The thing that I am noticing right now is the latitude and longitude are going to be always the same ones. So we can change something in this code. What I'm going to change is I'm going to pass these values in a partial function like so. There you go. And now we can create here const create from args from the original. It's going to be this one. And here, let's pass first these two values. And we have created a new function that only takes the west and north modifiers and returns us the points, right? So let's try it out to see if nothing is wrong with the code. So let's copy this one to here, and let's remove the modify control because we are not going to modify anything. Let's create here the set marker. Let's go here. Let's open my console and go into the logs. And here you can see it's returning me an empty object. I don't know why. Points is going to be equal to this one, 0.1. I don't know why it is returning me that. Northwest. Oh, I know why. Because I have to put this one, create original, right? There you go. Let's check it out. Okay, it's not returning me the one that I want. I don't know why. Let's instead return the property from here. As such, the distance in kilometers. Like that. Let's put that here. And let's try to click on that. Okay, that part is working. I have the latitude and longitude. The only thing that is not working is that these points, I want to be an object. And the first property is going to be 0.1. Let's try it out like that. There you go. Now we have the first point, which is this one. And now I can create all the points, right? And in order to do that, let's go here and let's add 4 points. 0.2. It's going to be equal to this one. 0.3. It's going to be equal to this one. And 0.4. Okay, the only difference now is I have to put each point in each part of the square, right? The first one is -1 plus 1, this one. So let's try that one. -1 plus 1. The second one is +1 plus 1. So let's add that one. There you go. The third one is going to be +1 minus 1. And the last one is going to be minus minus. -1, -1, like so. Let's copy that. Let's paste it here. And let's try it out. Click on this one. And let's check it out. Okay, we have the 4 points. The points are different coordinates. That's correct. There you go. And now we have to put these ones in the map. We can add them as markers first, so we can check the points without drawing a polygon. So let's add the modify control here. And in the modify control, let's add the value that is returned from the compute, and let's select the map here. Let's select the map, and the property that I want to modify is the property markers. So let's check it out. There you go. You can see now I can draw a square wherever I want it. Now the next thing that I want to modify is the size of this square. Size in kilometers. It's going to be about 5 kilometers, like so. And here, instead of putting this value directly, let's remove it and change it for the size. There you go. And now let's put that here, like so. And let's try it out. There you go. Now, instead of drawing markers, let's draw a polygon. How do I do that? Here, let's put polygons, like so. Polygon 1 dot coordinates. Let's check it out. There you go. Now we can create a square. Now the next step is how do I create an hexagon, right? Because we want an hexagon, like so. We can give Bart the idea to do that. Okay, Bart can give us already the idea how to draw an hexagon of radius x given the central point in JS. So I want to draw an hexagon, and I want the radius. Here is the radius. There you go. So let's modify the code right here. Instead of put size in kilometers, radius in kilometers. There you go. And next, we have the center. Okay, begin path, move path. Okay, center. Okay, we need a loop that is going to create 6 points. And the points is going to be line 2, center, plus radius, plus mat cosine, the cosine of the index of this one, plus these ones. Okay, so now we have to put these ones as the new properties. I'm going to explain that a little bit here. Let's add only 2 points. The first one and the second one. And here we need the coordinates, right? The coordinates were only the kilometers, but now I need to compute it like that. Instead of center in X, we need to use the original latitude and longitude, right? Because we don't need this part because we already have the distance here, right? So we need the radius in kilometers times mapped cosine. The I part is going to be 0 for the first one, I think, because the first one starts in 0. That's correct. And that's the cosine of that. And let's add the second one, which is this right here, like so. And instead of radius, let's add radius in kilometers. Okay, that's the first one. Let's add the second one, and the second one is going to be very similar. The only difference is that is going to have the other index. So we are going to add the for loop to do that. Okay, so let's add the for loop here, and let's declare the points outside of it as an empty object. And inside of here, let's add points, and let's add the property. The property is going to be P in A. It's going to be equal to this value, right? And instead of putting here 0, let's put I. And there you go. Let's try it out. Okay. Okay, nothing is happening, and I think it's not happening because we didn't put all the points, but I'm not sure about it. Oh, we did put everything, but it's not working, right? It's not giving me everything here. I don't know why. Let's check it out. Here we have the points. Here we are iterating each one, and here we are putting radius in kilometers, cosine of this one. Okay, let's comment these lines so we can check if everything is working correctly, like so. And let's copy this one and put it right here, like so, and click here. Okay, until that, it is working because it is returning me that. So here, instead of putting this part, create from original, okay. Let's remove that one and put here the text hello. So I am making sure that everything is working until there, okay. No, it is not working. I don't know why. Oh, I can see that now. The reason is that I put here points, which point instead of points, which should be there, right? There you go. Let's try it out. Oof, and there you go. You can now draw an hexagon directly in the map just by putting the coordinates of the center of that hexagon, right? And I can change the shape by changing, for example, the radius to 7. And you can see here, there you go. And it's very simple, right? We only need a little bit of practice asking Bart the answer to our compute parts. And we need to know a little bit about JavaScript, and we need to know a little bit about the maps in Apphive. Okay, there you go. With that, we are finished this session. In the next one, I hope we already have the function to decode the lines here, and we are going to be changing a little bit on how the code compute function works, because right now is not giving us enough information. For example, when it fails, I need to know where it fails and how it is failing, so I can use it a little bit more reliably, right? So let's leave it on that. Thank you for watching, and I see you on the next one. Have a good one.